so I guess you kind of maybe answered this, but just as more, as a teacher, instead of just going into the philosophy of being interested in it, what made you want to share it? What made you want to teach philosophy as opposed to just learn about it and be in it?
I mean, not everybody can do philosophy, and that's not like an elitist statement. I mean, it's just, it does take a lot of time and commitment. But even just at a low level, I think that, especially in our culture, it provides the critical tools where you're able to kind of, I mean, because this is the danger of our world right now, is the inability to think critically, the inability to step outside of your immediate reality. But not only critically in a cultural sense, but self-critically, and so that's why, you know, there's a lot of boredom and ennui and disconnectedness and anxiety, is because, you know, the tools aren't there to kind of diagnose oneself or diagnose one's world. And I think philosophy provides the best way of doing that. And so in that sense, to me, teaching is kind of, you know, bitter therapy. I mean, I hope that you guys in here, you know, after you leave the classes, something provokes you. You don't have to go and read all of Plato or whatever. In fact, I'd probably suggest against it. But that, you know, you come into a class and you're so just encrusted and ossified from your education process. You come in here and like, whoa, you know, there I am learning something. And I'm learning something that is not just merely learning information, but something that's relevant to me and relevant to my hopes and desires. And so I think teaching, and especially teaching philosophy, if it's done right, has the ability to do that.
So why a small college in the Bronx?
That's well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, the kind of job market, whatever it is, you can't. It's competitive, you know. And I still don't have my PhD, so that's one thing. But this was just, you get these emails and they say, you know, we need a teacher, and I just don't. And then I just, you know, it's a great campus. I don't get paid as much as you know, I could be doing other way, but it's convenient. You know, I like the students, and two, I mean, there is something like where these people get all this education and then they go teach only at Ivy Leagues, and then, but some of the best teachers you'll get are these small college or community college. Yeah, and so in that sense, there's a bit of a, you know, if I kind of am, you know, self-lauding about it, there's a bit of like a duty, I feel, maybe, that while I'm here to, even though I may not necessarily need the extra money, to come in with 32 of you guys and you know, maybe make a difference. I don't know.
Well, being a Texas man,
let's say Texas. Yeah, New York City knocks my socks off. I mean, I always knew that I was going to end up here. My mentor, John J. McDermott, was from here. He taught at City College in Queens, and he went to Fordham, and he came to Texas. And I don't know, there's something about New York, you know, even though New York right now is Rome, you know, it's a falling empire. There's a lot of, you know, very sad, you know, things that you just encounter today that just, even if you don't acknowledge them, they weigh on homelessness, pain, anger, I mean, all of this kind of stuff, but still it's the center of the goddamn universe. And you got to, you know, at some point in your life, you know, live in New York City for 6 or 7 years and, you know, just experience this human cluster, this beautiful human coming together in all of its beautiful and violent and destructive and explosive and creative ways. I mean, and so, you know, and then not to mention have access to, you know, great people, great conversations, museums, movies, things that you would never see that only happen here. And so, in that sense, I mean, I'm very at home. I'm very at home. I miss family and all that kind of stuff, but I'm very, you know, it's that kind of pressure, that pressure cooker that like forces you to kind of become, you know, fully realized naturally.